Hello, hello. Looks like I'm the only one here today. Maybe you guys are going to join us later. I will give you 5 to 10 minutes. And if nobody showed up, probably I'm going to record what was the idea of today's Zoom call to discuss a little bit beyond the materials provided in the class. So this is an opportunity to explore topics, to discuss some questions that are not probably addressed during the class material that you need to check. And maybe share some experiences from our classmates around strategic planning in this case. And I hope you guys had the opportunity to watch the video I sent to you as I post in the announcement and the chat there. Really, that particular video was very good for me. Addressed a big challenge when we talk about strategic planning, and somehow breaks the whole process into um, two different processes, probably to address the challenges of strategic planning. Do planning in one hand and strategy completely different, or have a completely different section of the document just to talk about the strategies, and all the other things will be just the plans to support somehow the strategy, but the strategy itself needs to be very clear in the document. So for me, this is the best takeaway from the video, and trigger my mind always when I'm discussing strategic planning. Hi, Lubna. I hope this time you are not traveling.
Good morning, Prof. No, I'm
Well?
at home.
Welcome, Chan. May any of you let me know if you can hear me? You can hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Chan, may you hear me, or Lubna? Hi, Lubna. Can you hear me?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Chan.
Now it's me who cannot hear you. Can you hear me? You can make like this if you hear me. Yeah,
Okay.
but I cannot hear you. So
You cannot hear me?
wondering if the problem is me or your end. Hmm. Oh, let me see. Do you still hear me? Yeah. Can you try to talk back to me so I can check?
Hello?
No. Okay, let me use the computer headphones. Okay. My microphone. Okay. Yeah. Looks like your end seems to be the problem. Sean, are you there? Just to confirm if my audio is right and I can hear you, or maybe Lubna need to check something on her
Yes,
end.
Doc, I can hear you. I'm here.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is disconnect my headphones completely and see what happens. Oh, Jen, there you are. Can you try to um, talk back to me so I can see if I can hear you?
Hello, good morning. I can hear you.
Aha, I cannot hear you. So the problem is me.
Oh,
Let me try to fix it. It's not you, or it's me. Okay, let's try this.
Энэ биш штэ инглиш дээгүүрээ.
So
Дээгүүрээ зүгээр тотал тавьчих чинь. Энд чинь бас
phones
дээгүүр
are
авах
working.
шүү.
Now I can hear you. Okay, I think now I can hear you guys.
hello, good morning.
Good morning. How's your morning there in the Philippines? Is
Good.
that sunny, rainy, or what?
It's sunny, but you know, today is Halloween and
Wow,
class
yes.
up. I have so many kids.
Hello, kids. Yay, good to see you guys. So there is no class today. Yeah, don't worry, don't worry. They don't bother. Don't worry. It's fine. Yeah. Okay, guys, let us start. Now, Lubna, let me see if I can hear you.
Yes, Prof.
Woo! Wonderful. So the problem was me. It's not a surprise, don't worry. So I'm so glad to hear you guys and see you. Let us start with a short word of prayer. I don't know if Lumna, may you help us with that? Thank you.
Shall we pray? Dear Lord in heaven, we are thankful for your wonderful love and your mercy. Thank you for this day. And as we commence this class, Lord, we ask your guidance and your Holy Spirit to make us understand and the concepts that Prof will explain today. Bless each one of us and bless others as they join the class. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Well, our topic today, of course, is strategic planning. And I'm not sure if you had the opportunity to watch the video, the 10-minute video I added to the class. The professor that was talking there is George Martin, and he writes books and is a Harvard professor. And basically, what he is doing is saying that, oh, my voice is very low. Should I? Okay. What about now? Is okay? It's better?
I think it's not about you talking, but maybe the microphone or the voice in your computer, maybe that's low.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if it can be better.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll
So I'm not going to cross my hands in front of my voice. Okay. I was talking about the video I sent, and what is very interesting is that the topic for this week is strategic planning, and the professor was saying there that there is no such a thing of a strategic planning actually. The two words should not go together, and because most of the strategic planning is just planning and has almost nothing about the strategy. And he went on to explain that if you said, we want to improve this, we want to improve that, we want to buy this, we want to buy that, we would like to have more staff, we would like to, you know, many things that you plan and you do your action steps and all these things in the strategic planning. Actually, almost nothing of that has to do with the strategy. A strategy has to do what you are going to do to get somewhere that you want to be, and for that you need a strategy. You don't need just a to-do list. Is basically a way to get there, and that basically is what the strategy is. So most of the strategic planning things, maybe 90% of what is written down there by each department, what they want to do, when they want to do it, who need to do it, how much resources you need to do that, and all the KPI is just to um, keep those plannings assigned to somebody else to um, specify responsibilities, resources, and the timeline of the whole thing. But it's very little about the strategy. So for me, that was a very important point, because if you are in your institutions and you said, okay, we want to increase marketing, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to have better buildings and so on, but what is the strategy of your institution? Where you want to get? How you are going to differentiate from your competitors, other education institution, being higher education institution or the schools or high schools, private, government, wherever it is. How you are going to make the difference? How you are going to get there? So that is the strategy part that is missed in most of the strategic planning thing. So yeah, I just wanted to recap a little bit, and if you didn't have the time because the class was up a little late this week, I really encourage you to go online, follow the link I gave you guys, and after um, this time together, you will be able to listen to this George Martin, professor of Harvard. So you will get more details from his 10-minute video. It's very good. Now, I have a question. Any of you participate did participate in a strategic planning exercise before? Had the opportunity? Chan, did you participate? Never. Okay. Lubna?
Yeah, I did. I served as the union education director and also part of most of the committees there in our union in the Pakistan. So
Right.
we have many strategic managements
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
union also and for the schools also.
Right. Right. Yeah. So I'm sure that this whole process has a facilitator of a group of facilitators trying to guide all the different people's committee areas that come together, to produce a final document. And how was the experience? Can you tell us how many days, how many different group? What was the people they invited to this process?
Sorry, I missed your point.
Yeah, I was asking if you can share with us how was the process, how was done, how many people came, how many departments, and how many days took the whole process to come together. Just to share your experience about the strategic planning in your institution?
You know, when it came, when the time came for the strategic management, and then everybody, oh, another so many days will be spent. And then there were another thing, oh, we will go somewhere out.
Yes, you are right. You are right. People look at the things in different ways, and normally when you have an strategic planning or this kind of meetings, you go somewhere else, you get a new bag, and some gift, and you have different food, and all these kind of things. So it's an incentive for the participant as well. And for how many days were you in this process?
Actually, we were always by the as soon as we started our quinquennium, we had to make a strategic plan for 5 years. Of course, that was one. And then for the schools, of course, I would suggest to do it every year. So, but how many days we would start in our offices for like a month, and then after a month of just gathering all these data and things and information, then we would go literally for like um 7 days out, and then sit there and do that strategic planning. So it was like a 1 week time, but
Right.
of course pre-preparation was there.
Yeah, yeah, that's what's exactly what normally happens. Whoever is the facilitator of the process will send an Excel with many questions and
Yeah.
information you need to provide, and you know all these kind of things. And then you come together for 7 days and you start brainstorming. Sometimes they break in groups only to work in the mission, to
Yeah.
work on the objectives and these kind of things, because it takes so much time for the 50 participant or whatever the number is to agree actually in the mission that is or the vision. Those are very things, and people is very picky about one word, another word, and discussion can go for days. So it's easier if the group brings 2 or 3 options to the main group, and so they can vote or decide or improve a little bit on that to make the process a little faster. In many times in institution like the SDA that most of us had experience working there, sometimes we adopt the mission and the vision. Why to change it if it is global? Why to change it? Sometimes some of the strategic planning processes, they start with the objectives that are going to apply to your context. So it's like a breaking down the main strategic directions of the main institution coming coming back. So there is many ways to do it, and so thank you for sharing that. Shan, I didn't ask you anything because you said that you have not participated before, but at least you can have an idea the time, how many people come to the things, and what are the discussions there. And one of the important things of the strategic planning is trying to align everybody to one goal, that everybody goes in the same direction. um, and sometimes you have people going in the opposite direction, so this kind of exercise help the whole institution, almost everybody, walk on one path only, so everybody's contributing to the main objectives. Now you finish your strategic planning, Lubna, and how many pages was that document?
Oh, it's huge.
200, 300 pages?
um no, not 200. I really don't know, because we were doing our part and the secretary was the one who was compiling it. So I'm
Right.
not sure. Yeah, but it comes as a booklet.
Yes. But normally it's a huge document, you know. And did you went through the exercise to say, okay, this is all the things we want to do. This is all the things. Now let's put all these things, what we are going to do the first year, what we are going to do the second year, what we are going to
Yeah.
do the third year, the fourth and the fifth, and how much money we need to do it. Did you do that?
Yes,
Yeah.
we,
Okay.
we did that.
Now, did you notice that 80% of the activities everybody wanted to do it in the first year?
Yeah, because everybody is so excited.
Exactly. And this is one important thing for us guys to understand that this is what normally happens. Shan, normally happens that if you have 20 activities, everybody wants to do in the first year 18. So why we plan for 5 years if you are going to put everything in 1 year? Doesn't make much sense, you know. And that happens when we have so many activities that we want to do. It's true, we need to dream big, but at the same time, this planning thing help us to focus on what is the most important thing that we want to do. Some people call it the rule of 80-20. The rule says basically that maybe three activities will address 80% of the problem or the solution, whatever you want to do. And you may have 100 different activities just to improve the other 20%. So, what people say, look, focus on 2-3 things that are really meaningful. So everybody has less thing, and at the end, you at least are going to achieve 80 or plus percent of what you want. But sometimes you expend time and resources trying to achieve the other 20% that is not really meaningful. Normally, there is 2 or 3 things. If you do that, 80% of whatever you want to do will be solved, or at least partially solved. So in strategic planning, many people use that and said, "Oh no, give me only 3 things." Okay, this is the list. Okay, but what is the most important ones? And then you need to come to a very a small number of them so you can remember them. You can keep focus on them, because if you have 20, 25, really you cannot keep it in your mind, because the truth is that when we are doing our work, you are teaching or you are managing the education part of a school or whatever you are doing, you don't have that documents with you every day, you know. We barely carry the Bible every day, so you cannot think that you are going to carry that document, and everything you are going to do, you are going to flip the pages of that document. Normally it doesn't happen. But if the focus of things is 2 or 3, you always keep it in mind. It's easy, rather big one. Okay, well, thank you for that. Now, what happened after that? How many meetings follow after the strategic plan was approved by the board and ready to implement? What happened after that?
At our end, not many follow-ups.
Yeah. So, what's the idea to review the process every 3 months, every month, once a year? What was the main idea there?
I guess the main idea was just to practice the custom thing.
Yeah. And what happened in the second year? People still remember that document?
No.
No. No. It is sad because, there are good things inside of those documents. There is no doubt about it. But for some reasons, people get too busy that they forgot about the whole thing and how important it was, and we go back to do whatever we were doing before, and things really goes in that way. Um, I learned that to have not a 5-year strategic planning, but having a revolving strategic planning. What does mean? If you have 3 years strategic planning or 5 year strategic planning, so when you end the first year, you come together, you evaluate, you realign, and you add again another year. So it's a document that is alive, is moving, is evolving, and you have the time to check what you did and learn from the year. Maybe you didn't achieve anything, whatever it was, but you evaluate it and you add another year, and you always have a 5-year document ahead of you. Okay, for me, this is a very good practice that help you always reviewing, and you need to add and you need to adjust. So keep a little more dynamic the process, and that imply that you also can work in a 5-year budget for your institution. So you ask everybody to plan for 5 years, to budget for 5 years, and you are going to review that every year, and you add another budget and another year of the strategic planning. So you always have your plans aligned with your finances moving forward. So this is what I have learned. I really like it to do it in that way. That's my personal choice. Of course, we are here to share experiences and ideas, not to follow a book or something like that in this particular time. So yeah, so please go ahead, Lubna.
Prof, I like the idea that you have shared with us to have it every year, but I don't know if other organizations, like in other parts of the world, the church is doing the same as we do it in Pakistan for 5 years. And if they're doing it like for 5 years or 3 years, um, in Pakistan, why I think we cannot have it like every year. It takes time and resources, and so we are short in that. But how about in the other parts of the world? Is the church doing the same? Although they have the resources also. So what is the thing that is like, barring them from practicing?
Yeah, I have a say as a finance person. For me, money is never the problem. Money is never the problem. Um, when there is the will, there is the way. We always say that, you always have time for what you want. You always have that time. Time is not also a problem, because you always find the time for things that you really like. So with money is the same. If really the leadership wants to move and achieve things and keep things on track, and everybody involved and everybody motivated, because you can see that you are following something, you can see that you are getting somewhere and you are in the process, so the administration will find a way to do it. And there is many ways to do things this day that you don't need much money. You can have a group to reviewing these things, and each department reviewing their own things, 1 or 2 days, and give the feedback. So if you get used to that, it will be like every morning you have worship. Will be something natural in the organizational culture to work in that way. But need to come with the I don't want to say the push, but just for the leadership to make everybody realize that it's very important that you do those things, and you can see the benefit of doing that. And sometimes one way to do that is, um, that the church never pays salaries or benefit according to the market. It's always according to what we can afford to do it. You know that very well. But if we are doing well, it means that we are going to have more students, we are going to grow. So it means also that we can do something about our salaries, of our benefits, because we will have the resources, you know. So even the church can go beyond the average of what is happening outside, but it has to do with, you know, how we process things and we do, and we motivate our our staff, our colleagues. There are many schools that are very profitable. We have many universities that are very profitable, but we have some that are not, and we need to find a way. Sometimes I say that some of our institutions, the business model we have is faulty by default. Is faulty by default means that the elements that are given to you to operate are not in a way that you are going to succeed. So if you are told you need to teach this, you need to provide these degrees, and these degrees, but there is no market for those degrees, then you are not going to have enrollment. So we always need to listen and be attentive to what is going on outside of our gates. You know, what is the new degrees that are needed in our region? What kind of professionals are on demand? You know, so you're trying to incorporate those together with the one that the church needs. The church needs teachers. If we want to have Adventist schools, we need what? Adventist teachers. There is no doubt about it. If we want to grow the gospel, we need Bible workers, we need pastors, we need chaplains, and we need those. But if those are not what the market needs, we need to incorporate some degrees that are well welcome in the marketplace. So then we will have enrollment on those areas, and any surplus we can use in some programs that we need for our mission, but probably we don't have so much enrollment in there. So anyways, that is some ideas in there. Lumna, what was the biggest challenge uh, you faced, because you were leader in your education in your union there? What was the biggest challenge you faced in the implementation of the strategic planning?
Challenges, not really. Hmm. There weren't any challenges in the implementations because everything was sorted out, the finance, the ways. Uh, maybe some circumstantial things came up, they would hinder it. But otherwise, they were planned, so I don't think so there were any challenges.
Right. And do you finish the 5 years there? Do you stay there for the 5 years of the plan?
Yeah,
Or
I did.
okay, okay. And so what happened at the end? Because you plan for something, and then you come to the end. Uh, were you guys very far from what you planned, or you were really doing what was planned for?
For my part, I only planned what I could do, for the education sector.
Right.
So nothing big or nothing extraordinary, just simple things which were achievable. So I think it was okay. And I guess with all directors, maybe just a little lack of here and there, but normally we achieved what we planned.
Okay. So, did you plan something that you can achieve, so was not challenging or innovating enough. You were just doing more of the same. That's why you were able to achieve. Or what was it? Because that is a trap sometimes. Okay, we keep doing whatever we know we can do it, and the numbers, okay, we can achieve this, so we will have a good result, but really there is no much challenge on what we are doing.
No, there wasn't anything like something customary because that was my first quinquennium, and for most of us, it was the first time there in the union as directors. So we planned what we thought we had to do it. Um, Basically, mostly with schools, um, the main problem was finance. Our treasurer always said, we don't have money. I'm sorry. If we have to have a renovation, we don't have money. I'm sorry. The schools were the infrastructure was very bad in shape. So what I thought was like, and I talked with my principals also. So instead of having a school whole renovated at one time, we decided to have renovations every month.
Right.
So we thought like, we can handle the challenge in that way, because resources were not there, the funds were not there. And if you want to renovate, it's like 100 million or something. So we decided to have it every month, like this month, okay, 3 windows, that the other month, doors, and so on. So, but mainly the challenge was finances.
Yes, and it's so sad that always finances are the challenge. And I always wondering what are we doing wrong? Why most of our institutions are struggling financially? What's wrong with the way that we are doing things? And yeah, there are many challenges and constraints. I know, but it's a little sad that that's the situation in our institutions. Something, I don't know. I feel personally that sometimes um, there is no alignment in the authority that you have, the responsibility and the resources. So there is a misalignment on that. You are responsible for everything, but maybe you don't have the authority and maybe you don't have the resources. So if these three things are not aligned, it's very difficult to ask the leadership to be responsible for results because you don't have the authority to act, and you don't have the resources that you need in order to be able to implement what you would like to do. But it's a mystery, still a mystery, what need to be done for um, for our institutions. Yeah. Okay. Um, I would like for Shan, if you have any question for Lubna or for me, because we had been in the process of strategic planning, we had been in the planning part, in the implementation and the evaluation. And so you have any question, let's say from the outside, you have been seeing people doing planning and nothing happened or whatever, or you had been uh, from the outside, you see, okay, there is success and so on. You have any question for us um, after reading this book, something about the strategic planning?
Can't hear you, Jen.
Yeah, we cannot hear you.
Okay, okay. Now, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I still wondering in in my country, we have one Adventist high school, but they are still struggling with finance. They are private, the tuition is not small. It's like in IS Academy tuition. It's similar, but they are still depending on Mongolian mission. They still struggling with the finance. So I cannot understand if this is business, they have to be move on, they have to be stand their themselves. But yeah, I really want to help them. Maybe the organization, I mean, the management, they have to be manage the situation because I don't want to see the Adventist institution is going down. I want to help them, but I don't know how. And
Mm.
I feel why I don't know. The all countries very angry. I afraid something to ask, and I want to just explain something, and they feel always angry. I don't know why. Maybe they have so many heavy burden to carry, and I feel most of accountants very angry. It seems they are not enjoying what they doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with any finance in the organization, but
Right.
I can feel that.
Yeah, um, that is a very good observation. There is a lot of being defensive, you know. You say something, there is a reaction, always defensive on the situation, and you are right. Why our institutions? Um, I have a theory. It's a theory after managing a university. I have a theory. I think that the fact that you get external help, people feel not motivated to do anything because always the mission will put money in and you balance the budget. So it's like there is no the challenge. When I was where I was, um, we got an appropriation of $500,000 every year to balance the budget. We were self-sufficient 70 to 75%. The rest should come from the union to us. So my staff in general was, I said, well, we have these challenges. We need to do this. He said, oh, yeah, ask more money. That's it. And so I said, guys, we need to improve our marketing. We need to improve our, go out. Teachers should go and promote, go to the schools, go to the churches and do that. There was no much interest until the point that they were scared at the institution because we were in war, financial crisis, the pandemic and everything. So they started to fear from their own salaries, and then they started to react a little more. So once I mentioned to the union, I said, I think if we make a plan of 5 years that you reduce the appropriations instead of giving them more, you can give the same money, but do it for investment, not for budget, not for salaries. You can give us something for investment, new buildings, training for teachers, other things. Invest, not give to the money to be burned in a year, just burn on salaries. So if you ask us a plan on 5 years that we are going to move all those appropriations given by the union into investment, I said, in 5 years, you will give us $3 million. This is a lot of money for investment. This university will have new dorms, a new cafeteria, maybe more buildings. Maybe we can start and bring more teachers. and so we can open new programs, and that will be an incentive, because if we are not making this to work, then our salaries and benefits are going to be affected. So we need to work all together. So that was an idea from my side that I was trying to promote to the board, to look at this and make it possible. But yeah, it's challenging. That's the reality. And you are right. There are sometimes that you work so hard and people come with ideas, and your reaction is negative. It's like you are offended, you are so sensitive if people is asking you things or suggesting things like oh, I'm not doing well my job, that's why these people is asking, and whatever. That's because it's a lot of stress. um, um, Sometimes I introduce myself. I'm the one, I'm the manager of the no money. I'm the manager of the no money. And I don't like to say we don't have money. I think it's a wrong message. Always the treasurer say, no, there is no money, there is no money, there is no money. I think you can take that opportunity when somebody is asking, say, look, how you think that we can make it happen? We that we are struggling, but yeah, I think is what you are proposing is a good plan, but how we can do it, how you can help us to do it. Do you have any idea of fundraising, how we can do it, and with some support from the institution and maybe alumni, or trying to find a way of doing things, because it's easy to say there is no money, there is no money. My father, right now I'm in my father's house. He had been union treasurer and so on. And when I became treasurer very young, I was 27 years old, and he gave me some advice. And one of them I do remember, he said to me, um, whoever comes into your office, no matter if your answer is yes or no, that person need to leave your office happy. Can you imagine that challenge that he gave me? I mean, it's really difficult, because people will go happy if they say, hey, I need $2,000 for this project or for this trip. You say yes, the person will go jumping outside of the door, And if the person come and said, I need this $2,000 for personal development, I want to go this, get this training, whatever it is, and you said no, and the person goes unhappy, and the challenge is that the person need to be happy. So with the years, I understood that if you explain your reasons why it cannot be done, people understand most of the time. People really understand why it is not possible. But if you just say no and thank you, go, creates, unhappiness. But if you explain and you say, okay, let me, work on that, let's try to do it maybe later, and trying to encourage the person, etc. Person can understand and be happy. Although yes, you said no now, but you are considering, you will look into that, and there is some options, rather than to say just no. But yeah, anyway, all these things are important, because you guys are getting your PhD in institution management and all this kind of thing. You are going to be or you have been leaders, and you are going to go back and to be leaders in your churches, in your schools, and in general. So I think these things are very important. I think I wrote in one of the forum today that I have been in institutions that when it comes to the finance manual, is more than 600 pages of documents, huge. But I had been in institution managing more money than that one, where the whole manual is 22 pages or 30 pages and works. People remember. So sometimes we're trying to overdoing things, overcomplicating things. And so all the effort and the limited resources goes to many places. So it's easy not being relevant. But even if you have few resources, but you focus them in one or two things, then you are going to have some results that are meaningful. But if you have $10,000 and you have 10,000 needs that you want to put your money in, you will have $1 for each of them. But if you have only two main things that you are going to focus to be successful, then you have $5,000 for each. And there is more chances that you are going to be able to do something. So sometimes less is more when you are very focused and you have a strategy for that than doing so many things and getting nowhere, you know. Even that could be your own failure because, okay, look, you started 3 programs, all of them were down. You start one program and you make it success, and that program will allow you to have more programs very soon. Now, you do one program very well, you will be well known for that program in your community, that you are the best or almost the best in that field. Then all you learn there, you move to another program and you make it the same successful because you are focused on the success, not into too many things. Well, anyways, those things sometimes work, sometimes doesn't, you know. So we always need to ask for help from God to um, help us as leaders, where to go, how to work with people, how to make our work attractive to others, and on these kind of things. And sometimes we forget that. And I can tell you, you are so stressed and so busy, and you make decision and you don't even pray in your mind. You are so busy, one thing after the other. You make decisions and you don't even think about God. That's the truth when you are, very stressful. It shouldn't be like that, you know. But that's reality what happens. So with many things but focus, you also will have more time for other things. So I mean, at least this is what I believe that is a good thing. Not necessarily need to be for everybody, but I believe that can work. Well, I think we had a good time. I enjoyed it. I don't know you guys, but I did enjoy it. Sharing, realities, experiences that are not in books, and just sharing and talking about the subject. Probably when you go back and read, you will say, maybe this can apply for what we discussed in the Zoom. Okay, this. So these stories, experiences help us to like a anchor for our knowledge to fix in our mind, or some ideas for the future, or to apply in our personal life, because I believe that managing companies and life are not really different, are the same skills that you need actually for your family and for companies. Is managing something, so it's the same thing. Well, thank you so much, Shan and Lubna, for being here. I know that this is recorded, so our classmate may have the opportunity to see us, in a different time of the day. And probably in some of the forums, they will comment whatever they would like to. So thank you so much for your participation. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure, and have a good day and a happy Sabbath ahead of time.
You too, Pro.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.